Welcome to Triple M NRL Daily. It's the Journos edition. It's a very, very special edition. Charlie White here. As always, I'm joined by Danny Weidler. But Danny, we've got a very special guest for the last time ever on Triple M NRL Daily.
As always, I don't think I've done a show with you before.
Yeah, that's true.
But I've seen you on every other show, Channel 7, Triple M, I don't think I've done a show with you, have I?
I don't think we have. Mate, you've got to try and make some money somehow in this world.
You wanted me on the sideline, so welcome, I guess. Welcome.
Thank you.
Although... Yeah.
He knifed Peacock, mate. Don't welcome him. He
hang
knifed
on.
the great Adam
We're going to
Peacock.
introduce Michael Chammas?
I guess we'll introduce him. Michael Chammas for the final time on Triple M NRL
The final
Daily.
time. You're not going to have me back.
Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see. How are you, my friend?
I'm very good. Mate, I had to be here because, one, I know you did knife Peacock, but two, I couldn't resist one last hurrah with the great man over here.
Yeah. Now, you can't weigh in on all the opinion stuff, so it's kind of just going to be a farewell to Michael Chammas show.
This is the tribute.
The tribute show.
This is a tribute.
Should have done a tour in Vegas, a tribute show. Anyway, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'll settle with
last
this.
time I saw you in a different sort of shirt, Chammy, you had like some sort of word on it that you were trying to market. Remember when the Tigers had their dramas and they were using words, and now you've got a very fancy
Now
PNG.
we've got the PNG logo here, the PNG Rugby League
look at
logo.
you. Look at how far
Life's changed, Danny.
This
Okay.
podcast changed you. I think it was actually. I think we owe a big tribute to Adam Peacock, who started calling you GM Chammy during the life.
Fake it till you make it.
During
Is that
the
what you
life of
reckon?
the podcast, and people obviously listened. They listened to.
Mate, Volandis was listening to the show.
Big fan,
Abdo.
obviously. Big fans. So yeah, that's.
You're taking credit?
No, I didn't call you GM Chammy. That was a Peacock thing. So tribute to Adam Peacock.
Yeah, I think the buy round deserves a bit of credit as well.
You can have some.
Michael Chammas did the Perth Bears salary cap podcast, and he built together this incredible roster. And Volandis obviously listens to the show, and he heard that, and he said, "This guy's a genius."
Yeah.
In all seriousness, it's a great leap for you. I know how much it means to you. I know how much you wanted this. I know. Look, I'm not going to speak too much out of school, but you've been thinking about it for a while, and I think we knew even in our last podcast we did that this could easily happen for you.
Yeah.
And it's a tribute to I guess your knowledge of rugby league, your application, your understanding of what goes on in the game. But it's saying all that, I'm still going to hammer you when I get the chance.
Oh, of course you are. I was going to say, you've been too, we don't do nice on this podcast, but don't
I
change
do
now.
nice. You don't do
Yeah,
nice.
that's true. I don't do nice.
No.
So I'll have to say thank you, though.
Yeah.
At the very least, I'll give him a thank you. But you know what? I don't expect anything different from you. To be honest with you, I jumped off a plane in Vegas, right? This bloke, he wanted to bounce me at the airport. And I said, are you
What
serious? He said, mate, when you get off, what flight are you on? I want to get you at the airport. I said, Danny, let me get back to the hotel. Let me get changed, have a shower, and I'll come and do an interview with you. Why do you need to bounce me? Anyway, as soon as I landed, where are you? What time? Just calm down, champion. I ran back, and he's like, okay, you need you downstairs in 15 minutes. I'm like, this guy for real?
Yeah, because it's
And the questions are very negative, actually.
what the fact that I said you're drinking the Kool-Aid. It's all about cash.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I work for the club. What do you want me to drink?
The Kool-Aid.
Yes.
So how did it
It's
all
not
happen?
Kool-Aid, we
Jamie?
believe in it.
Give us you were linked with the Bears for a while. I don't know how much was in that or not. But then the PNG thing became really real fairly quickly. And again, we talked about it. And it was because a big move. Like, look, Charlie, he's a great journo, and I don't like giving him too many raps. But his trajectory as a journalist was that he was going to be unparalleled in years to come, without a question. His knowledge and his contacts were terrific. So to basically go from a career where you could have easily been right up there for a very long time, next 15, 20 years, to jump into the unknown. But you obviously thought about it a lot.
Yeah, like I don't know. I couldn't help the feeling of what's next. As much as I was loving what I was doing in journalism on 100% footy and Herald and 9, Triple M, buy round anyway. Like I genuinely love what I was doing, but there was a little part of me is like, okay, like what's the next challenge? And I've felt in media, I felt not comfortable because you've seen me. I'm constantly a state of paranoia. You're always worried about what's out there. Are you going to get beat? What's happening around you? But I've always been fascinated by the salary cap management, the building a team, and that has has always been a fascination of mine. So did I always want to do this? Of course. I just never thought it was ever going to be a possibility for me to do it
How
because
did it become a possibility?
um, there were conversations around Perth. Yeah, you mentioned that. And it was just, I don't know, it was loose conversations around getting involvement. What I originally thought was maybe I could have the best of both worlds. Maybe I could take 12, 18 months off journalism, maybe take leave without pay and consult to the Perth Bears and help them build the roster. It's hard to sort of dip your toe in and then still
Can't
have
do that.
it was going to be hard. And I've been vocal here on this podcast as a journo that I felt as though the Bears probably needed a bit more assistance from the NRL in regards to salary cap. And I felt like it was going to be difficult building a roster on a level playing field with the rest of the other teams. So that sort of fell away.
So
And
you didn't like the idea that the Perth Bears weren't getting like in the AFL, for instance, they give
Yeah.
assistance to clubs,
They
don't they?
did. They did it for the Giants and the
Yeah.
Suns.
So you
Yeah.
think that would have been necessary for Perth?
well, I'm not going to hide away from what I said. It's
Yeah.
out there what I said at
Yeah.
the time as a journo that I felt that the Perth Bears should have been looked after. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, that they're building a competitive roster under Mal Meninga, the Perth Bears. So maybe I was wrong. But from my point at that time, I felt like jumping into that role for the first one would have been difficult for me.
Is it really important that it's a new franchise that you're looking after as well? Obviously, Perth Bears was going to be a new franchise, but this PNG team, you can put your fingerprints completely over the whole
Yeah,
operation.
that's what interests me. I don't know if I would have got the opportunity to go into another club anyway, but the fact that it was a new club, that is what really excited me, and I want to be part of that. So when I went over to PNG, you heard me on this podcast,
Yep.
went over in October. Honestly, there was no conversations had been had. When I went over in October, it opened my eyes to
That
what
was
it was
with
like.
Brent Reed.
Yeah,
for
Reedy,
what
the
was that for,
NRL
like
sent.
an exploratory sort of tour.
Well,
Was
no,
it?
it was the PM's game. They
That's
were
right,
playing the PNG team. But what we did, we came back, we wrote, I wanted to go over and write about where they're going to stay, where they're going to train, where they're going to, how's it going to work. And when I was there with Andrew Abdo at the time, I found myself asking a lot of questions around it, as you do for the story. But I think Andrew could see that there was a greater curiosity. It wasn't just questions for the sake of writing an article. I was genuinely interested in it. And we had conversations around whether I'd like to work at the NRL.
You've worked at the NRL before.
Yeah, but that was still NRL.com.
Yeah,
I worked
yeah.
as a reporter
Yeah.
when they started up the digital franchise, the digital venture there. And I realized I didn't want to go and work, for head office.
Yeah.
I wanted to be part of being in clubland.
One of the funny mornings was
Here we go.
when we're in England, and I think Andrew Webster broke a story saying that Chammas was being linked to the Bears or something. Or
No, he wrote that the NRL were looking
NRL,
at bringing me across.
right.
Yeah.
And I'm always up early, and some of the players and staff and the Kangaroos were hammering me about Chammy, including Kevin Walters, the Australian coach. Who, as soon as he saw Chammy, he saw him downstairs. He put his arm around him and said, "What's going on, boss?" he was straight away.
He put his hand around him and
Yeah.
asked for a contract
asked for
extension.
Contract extension. You got that yet? I don't know.
I don't know
Okay.
actually what's happened there.
Yeah.
What was that role going to be at the NRL? Or
It never really got into anything serious. It was just like, would you like to? But I think they could see that clubland was probably where, if I was to make the move, that's where I was interested in. Being part of, I played footy as 20 years. I love the competitive side of it. And I applied that competitive nature into journalism, right? I don't like losing. I always want to win. And that competitiveness, I felt like being part of a team and actually chasing a premiership. I wanted that, I wanted to be part of that. And being with the Roosters in LA on the way through to Vegas, being with the Sharks under Craig Fitzgibbon last year and under Ricky as well last year, seeing the inner workings of a football environment, it just got me going. I was excited by it. And I'm honestly cannot wait to be part of that again with a football team, working with a coach, staff, trying to chase a common goal of winning a premiership, and not just winning a premiership for us. There is a whole nother level in PNG of actually being part of changing that country, which you could say it's airy fairy. You go and drive through the streets there and you see what it means to the people of PNG. I just felt like so we went on a drive the other day. Joey
Here comes the
Grimer.
Kool-Aid.
No.
Here we go.
It's not Kool-Aid. Joey Grimer picked us up. We were going
I
out
know.
dinner down at the yacht club in the harbour. And we're driving. It was afternoon, sun was setting, and the kids are everywhere on the side of the road, roundabouts, playing footy. And it just reminded me of like when I was young, everything was about playing footy. Every night, every afternoon, go home, backyard, family, everyone was it's all about footy. And I just felt like what that did for my life, I want to hopefully do that for
And
those
I love
kids.
that for PNG, right? And I'm,
Yeah.
you know, I'm a critic of this. So
Yeah, I know
you
you
know
are.
that
You
you
made
know
that
that I don't like the way that politics is mixing with sport in this. And
Yep.
I mean, you know, we're stopping the subs, or we're stopping the Chinese, and I mean, it's all crap. It's all just rubbish. I mean, I don't like any part of that, right? I think that I like sporting teams to be sporting teams. And how much political stuff are you doing? Like, have you been told the backstory about the politics? Have you been
You're right.
told that?
That's not in my remit. And
Yeah.
and I've said that I had an interview with Peter Fitzsimons. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to get me
I
having a
didn't read that.
discussion around geopolitics. You know, I'm there to help build the football
But do you
department, to build a
understand
football team.
why I'm skeptical about it, and why do you
Yeah.
understand that a lot of people think that it's not a
Hang
great
on, my
great
phone's
idea?
ringing.
Oh,
The great
Peacock.
Adam
There you
Peacock's
go.
calling. Can
He
I add him
saved
in?
him from a tough question
Yeah,
there. It's
he
like
did.
Adam Peacock
It's
knew when to
time to
call.
hang on. I'm going to add him in because that's the thing we do. Oh, he's hung up on me. The grunt.
Good. But yeah, but there is that. I mean, I love the idea that's going to be helping kids and
What-
pathways, but the whole political side of it, it does my head in. It does my head in.
But,
I think a
okay.
lot of people are like that.
I can understand, right?
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
And I was the same. I didn't really have an interest
Yeah.
in that side of what's going on. But
Yeah.
reality is, there's a rugby league team in Papua
Yep.
New Guinea. Yeah.
Yep.
Do they deserve it? Do they deserve it for their love of rugby league? It's the only country in the
Yes.
world where
Yeah.
it's the national sport. Of course they do. Would it have ever become a reality if it wasn't the case? If politics didn't mix with sport? No, it wouldn't have. You know, that wasn't on the NRL's plans. So Prime Minister James Marape, through his vision and his dream, has turned this into a reality.
I love that it's happening, but I don't like the way it's happening.
But it doesn't happen if it doesn't happen
Do you know
that
what
way.
I'm
Danny.
saying? Do you
Yeah,
understand?
I get it.
I'm skeptical of it, and
Of course.
I don't like the fact that we're being told it's coming in for political reasons, and the money's coming from the government, and all that sort of stuff. That doesn't sit well with me.
But that's how it was born.
Understand?
Yeah. But that doesn't have to be what it's about.
Yep.
You know, obviously for us as a football club, we understand why it's there.
Yep.
But when you're involved and you see the impact it has on the people, it's not just a political team. It's not. It genuinely is
You know what it
giving.
feels like to me?
What?
A political team and a money team. That's how it feels.
Well, because you're hearing the Australian
Yeah.
side of it, right?
Yeah.
You're seeing tax-free dollars.
Yeah, I'm
for
just saying
staff.
what I'm hearing. Yeah.
You're not going to deny, and I've never hid away from the fact around tax-free and players are going to want that
Yeah.
money. But there's a whole other element to it, and it sounds airy fairy to everyone listening over there, but until you're over there, and someone like Joey Grimer,
Yeah.
who's been there for 3 years, until you actually see the impact that it has,
Mm.
until you hear the roar when Cooper Bye runs. When I saw it at the PM's game, right, I was turned the other way. We're at the Prime Minister's game, and young Cooper Bye was playing for the Kummels. I turned around for a second. I can't remember what I was doing. I turned around for a second.
Probably taking a selfie.
Maybe I was talking to Andrew Abdo, and I just heard this roar. Like when I tell you it was a roar, it was
Yeah.
like a team had just scored the try to win the grand final. And I
that's
turned around and
unreal,
I said,
Chammy. I think
"What
that's
just
great.
happened?"
Yeah.
And all it was, they said, "Oh, Cooper Bye just took a hit up."
Unreal. Great. But you understand there is, and there's also, you know what, there's a lot of people wanting you to fail at what you're doing.
Yeah, that's
You're aware
fine.
of that.
I love that.
I know you love that.
I love that. That's fine. But we know what we're doing in terms of what the greater sense of purpose with this football team is. Say what you like about how it was born. We understand the PNG government, the Australian government, and the NRL have come together with an arrangement here. But it's going to be more than just a political team. Like this team is actually genuinely going to have tribalism and passion like no other football team.
Well, I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
And I wish you success.
And are there challenges? Of course,
Yeah.
there's going to be challenges. There's more challenges with
Is
this
it
than any other
safe there,
football
Chammy?
club. It will be safe there.
You're
for them.
taking your kids, you're going to take your missus.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know what a family guy you are, and I know how important they are to you. They're everything. But you're going to take them to a place where you think is safe.
I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't feel like we were going to have the safety network around us. Like you got to remember, these guys are absolute idols, right? In Papua New Guinea. I liken it to an Indian cricketer like Sachin Tendulkar or Virat Kohli in India. Like they're not going to have their worry isn't going to be safety. You know, their worry is it's a privacy thing, right? Because they're going to be heroes. They're not going to have to worry about.
I think
safety.
if that's their biggest worry, that's good.
But some people embrace that. And people that I've spoken to, they look at it and think, you know what? Wouldn't it be cool to be over there and actually be a hero to these people?
Yeah, rock star.
They're rock stars.
Yeah.
They're going to be.
And
And they're going to be things you have to sacrifice in your life because of it. And I don't think safety is going to be one of those things. Because we are going to look after them.
When you approach players and their families, that's going to be a question that you're going to get asked. Right? Beyond the tax-free dollars, fabulous. That's
They're
there for
questions
everybody.
I asked too,
Yeah,
Danny. They're
yeah,
questions my wife asked.
yeah.
And here's the thing: when you
And
go
what
on
answers did you get?
Google, you don't get the answers you're after. You get
Yeah,
more
that's
concerns.
true. Yep.
So I went over there.
Mm.
I went with my wife. We went over there. I was taken around. We went to different parts of it. Safety is not something that I can tell you. You need to feel it.
Yeah.
You need to feel safe.
And you felt okay.
I felt safe.
Mm.
Are there issues in the country that result in things? A lot of it is around tribes,
Yeah.
tribal wars and different tribes having issues with each other. There's no doubt that, look, reality is you're not living in Sydney, okay?
Yeah.
But there are beautiful parts to it.
Yeah.
And it's our job. I'm not worried about football, Danny,
Mm.
one bit. I think the football team will be competitive, and I think the football program will be run well. My job then is to make sure the families are okay.
Yeah,
Because
that's
everything
all that-
revolves around the
Well,
families.
like it's all that's my concern. Like that, and the basis being political, and then the safety for players and their families, and
Yeah.
that to me is massive.
Yeah. And it's the mental well-being of the
And that
family.
falls a lot on that's comes under your umbrella.
Yeah, of course it does. Maybe not, and more than any other club.
Mm.
My job, I know that the football program will be okay. I know it will be. But if they're coming back home to wives and kids who are unhappy,
Yeah.
who are bored, who feel unsafe, then that's not going to work.
And
It's game over for
What
us.
are you going to provide to those families and the players to make them feel safe and not bored
Well-
and have a good life?
Well, we keep talking about this word family, right?
Yeah.
About everyone talks about we're a family club.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're genuinely a family club. We're living together.
Yeah.
We're going to have, we're going to be with each other 24/7. There are challenges to that. But there are also opportunities. When I speak to my oldest son around going over there, what excites him? It's going to feel like, well, we just went on a cruise in the off season, right? And all the kids on the cruise every afternoon or every day gathering, they're going to the courts, they're playing basketball, they're playing footy,
Yeah.
they're playing soccer. It's going to feel like that in
Sounds
this
idyllic
community.
for the kids. Yeah.
And if you go to the people who lived in the COVID bubble, the ones in Queensland, particularly the ones who lived on the Sunshine Coast,
Yeah.
the Penrith boys, they couldn't speak highly
Well, the
enough
Storm
of
guys
what it
say
was
the
like. The
same.
Storm
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
And all the kids and the families, they connected. And that's why they had such success. Penrith, Melbourne, they won the comps in those 2 years. Because their families and their kids and their partners, they all came together. And that drove them to success. We need that. And if you don't have that, it'll fall apart. So, yeah, there are challenges and there's sacrifices, but there's also going to be some rewards. And I think a lot of those kids who move in together are going to become best friends. The wives and partners, they're going to become close to others. And a part of my strategy, and obviously we'll have to appoint a coach and a recruitment manager, is to make sure we recruit smartly in groups. Do you recruit,
Well, you went after
knowing that the
didn't
partners
you
go
after the
after?
Clearys.
Well, we spoke to Ivan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spoke to
Well, that
Ivan.
would have been with a plan to get them all, wouldn't it? Like
Well,
Nathan.
we can't talk to Nathan
Yeah.
just yet.
Well,
But obviously the end goal would have been
yeah.
you get Ivan, you get Nathan, you get Jet, and you got Beck. Beck's a social butterfly. She would have looked after the families and
That's not going to happen now.
we had a chat with Ivan, and he's really, really supportive of PNG. He thinks it's brilliant what we're doing there. But at his point in his life and his career, he's said that it's just not for him.
How are the Penrith
which we're
officials
grateful.
about you having a chat to Ivan?
No, they're fine. Well, he's off
Yeah.
contract at the end of
Yeah,
27.
really fine.
No, they are. Well, I've got a good relationship with
Yeah,
Matt Cameron.
I know. Sure.
And they understand that if Ivan Cleary's off contract at the end of 27 and we're starting up a rugby league team, why wouldn't we go for him?
Willie Peters.
Yep.
I've heard a bit of noise that he's right up there in contention. Is he a contender?
Yep.
How high up is he?
Yeah, he's a contender. Like, that the same as Perth, the NRL picked the coach, right? The NRL, and I'm grateful that we're part of the process. But reality is, the Australian Rugby League Commission will decide the coach of the PNG Chiefs. Now, Willie Peters, what he's done over there with Hull KR, you can't deny it. Led them from wooden spoon when he first joined them, took them to a grand final in his second year, led them to a premiership in his third, Challenge Cup winners, minor league leaders, they call it over there. They won that, and then they knock off Brisbane to win the World Club Challenge. So you can't deny that. But there's also other contenders who have done a lot of good things.
And Willie ticks a lot of what you're talking about in terms of good person, family guy, all that sort of stuff. I know you got to know him a bit on the Kangaroo Tour, but I also know you've got a very strong relationship with Brad Arthur. That's not a secret in
No,
league
not a
circles.
secret at all. No.
You're close with him.
Yep.
What's happened there?
No, well, I think Brad's another one of those guys you'd say is a leading contender. 11 years in the NRL, took Parramatta to a grand final, regular finals appearances, built a club from the ground up, really, after what he had to endure with the salary cap scandal that took, I think, 12 or 14 points off the club back then. So he built the club from the ground up. He's understood how to overcome adversity. He's experienced. So definitely someone the NRL is looking at. The other two with strong connections to PNG. Obviously, Adrian Lamb's a national hero. If you look at all the social media pages in PNG, they all want Adrian Lamb to be coach.
Is it true that the government wants him to be the coach as well?
The government don't decide on the coach.
But are they pushing the Adrian
No,
Lamb campaign?
not as far as I know. They obviously have a high opinion of him. You don't represent your country as many times as he did, and not have support internally there. You know, he and Marcus Bai were the pioneers of rugby league in PNG. So,
But can you make an emotional decision? I mean, like, it's really got to be a decision that's because of all the things you just outlined, living in that confine and families. I think it's got to be you've got to take the emotion out of it and make the right call.
Well, I think you got to tick more boxes than you do in any other role.
Like Adrian Lamb's a great contender. But I'm just saying you can't be swayed by emotion or like Charlie said, if the government wants someone.
No, and you got to have
that'd be embarrassing if you appointed because the government wants someone.
Well, that's not the NRL's. Let's make it clear.
Right,
the NRL is appointing the coach. You know, but they're all factors you got to consider. You got to consider the people of PNG. Do they embrace the team? You got to consider the fact that it's going to be a tough challenge. You got to coach with experience, but also the fact that you have to have someone who understands that this is a unique situation. You're living together. That in itself creates challenges around when to switch off, when you go back to the resort, or are we drawing a line in the sand? Once you leave the centre of excellence and go back to the resort, there's no more footy talk. Like they're the sort of things you have to do. And the other one is
the coach has got to control a lot of that too.
Of course, the coach is the barometer for everything we do.
You can't have the coach knocking on someone's door at 6 a.m. just to get extra time with them to have another chat about something.
Well, that's
got to give them free time.
They've got to have to find out what the right model is. And I agree with you, Danny. You're going to have work-life balance in this situation more than any other.
So no match then, no match.
I think
not with Chammy there.
We're not getting into bagging match, all right? Okay. I will say the other element is knowing the local talent. And one thing that we're speaking about is Jason Demetrio. When you talk about local talent, he's the national coach. He's had a lot to do with a lot of these younger guys who have come through, but also the Kummels as well. He's taken 5 or 6 players over to London Broncos and he's working with them, developing them. So Jason Demetrio's got a strong
wants it,
case.
doesn't he? He wants it.
My understanding is he does. Yeah, he's made that public. He's come out. I think all four guys that I've mentioned have all come out publicly saying
all very capable. Like it's a tough call. It's a tough call. But you don't make the decision, right?
No, it's the ARL Commission. But I'm part of the discussions around it.
Can you recommend?
I don't know. Look, we're having discussions, right? I'm respectful of the process because I was appointed because of this process. Because the Constitution states that the ARL Commission appoint the chair, the CEO, the GM, and the coach.
Topical one.
Hit me.
Zach Lomax.
Yeah.
He's available.
Yeah, and what are you trying to say?
Is he someone you consider?
We need a coach first, then.
Understand, but he's a high quality player.
Yeah, he's a very good player, but we don't have a coach. We got to understand
without a dodge.
Culturally what we want to do.
Straight back.
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
We'd like to sign him.
Well, but I don't have. That's not my answer for you right now. My right answer for you right now is when I have a coach, if he wants to sign him, he can talk to him.
You rate him as a player?
I rate him very highly as a player. Yeah. He's probably. I reckon he's arguably the best winger in the last 18 months to 24 months.
Brian
him and I was about to say him and Brian To'o. No one going to Tuase was probably the best last year. So Xavier Coates goes well at PNG product. So you're not going to get an answer out of me that we're going to sign Zach Lomax.
Ultimately, is it going to be mainly PNG players? Is that what the goal is?
The goal long term is to have this predominantly PNG. Yeah, for sure. There's a crop of young kids coming through, and Joey Grimer, as I mentioned, has done a lot of work with them. They're getting better, but they're not quite where they need to be in terms of the bulk numbers make up our top 30. That's why this incentive around tax is being brought in. Bring the right people in, help these young kids develop, work with the coach to make sure that PNG understands the importance of discipline, understands the importance of nutrition, understands the importance of leadership, all these things that the right signings will bring in, that will make sure that in 5 to 10 years' time, the bulk of the players are coming from PNG. But right now, the reality is it won't be. But we need PNG flavour in that first few years.
Or more than flavour.
Yeah, strong flavour. Yeah, no, bloody oath we do. Like you look at a lot of the players in the NRL now, you consider, like, I'm not saying that we're going to go after and sign all of them, but there are a lot of guys with PNG backgrounds. The Coates brothers. Yep. You look at Cooper Bai, Alex Johnston, Jack DeBellin, and then you look at over in the Super League, there are so many players. The one that I'm excited about
going over there to talk to people?
No plans at this point, but I'm sure that'll be part of it. Yeah, that'll be part of it. I'm week 2 into the job, mate.
Come on, mate. But your mind's been thinking about it for a long time.
Of course. That's what I said. That would be something that we'd want to do in the future. But
Only week 2. It
have I
feels like
booked flights?
longer.
Week 2, yeah.
He's giving you
Officially.
some tough questions here, isn't he? I want
Terrible.
to ask you about that you spoke about recruiting players in groups.
Yeah.
Now, how much of a factor is recruiting great human beings, given everyone's living together? Is that a huge factor for you?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I said this the other day on NRL 360. Sorry, Danny. I know you don't like News Corp, but I was happy to
Did
go
you have
on.
to throw that in?
I was more
Just
than
for
happy.
old time's sake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just for old times. I was happy to go on NRL 360. Braith and Gordy were fantastic.
Will you be going on 100% footy?
I haven't received an invitation
Oh,
yet.
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Will you be?
Will I be asking you questions there?
Depends if you're on 100% footy.
Don't know. We'll see what happens.
Will you do a one-on-one with Gus or no?
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Don't know if Gus would love to do it with me.
Would be good television.
No, but I think
I can't wait for Gus and Chammy to fight over their first player.
no, mate, respect.
When he goes to try and sign Matt Burton.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't get me into anti-tampering trouble at this point. You can save that for 100% footy when you ask us questions about Matt Burton's future. What was I saying? Yeah,
Good human beings.
Yeah, good human. Like, I think that if we get people who don't fit into the culture, and I've said this the other day on 360, that's the point I was making. If you're just coming for the paycheck, like you're not the guy we need.
But Chammy,
When I say
there's going to be a lot of people who are interested
Well, that's
in
it.
money.
Of course. But then it's our job to then filter through those people and work out, okay, this person's going to only come in for the money. He'll offer us nothing else. Whereas if I sign this person, what he's going to provide is leadership. He's going to bring his family, show PNG that we're going to embrace PNG and we're not just here to take our money and run. That all makes a difference. You got to remember, PNG is rugby league mad. They are. That also means every single person in that country has got their own team.
Mhm.
They've got their Broncos. I can't believe how many Broncos fans there are. Cowboys. They all have teams. So we don't want to be everyone's second favourite team. We've got to come in there and get the nation behind us. So to do that, we've got to make sure that the players who are there are embracing the community and are proud of what they're doing.
Toby Rudolph has already said he wants to come and play.
Yep.
Are you interested in Toby?
I've spoken to his manager about it.
I thought he
and
manages himself.
I think he's got a couple.
He's got a manager now. He was managing himself. I think he told a story, called Wayne Bennett, didn't go very well. So he's like, nah, I need that.
Yeah. Well, it's fantastic that he feels that way about coming to PNG, and it's good for us. It's good for us that players are coming out saying that they want to come, and privately, a lot have come out to me and said we'd like to come as well. The thing I said to Toby's manager is, our first step is a coach. You know,
How long?
hopefully in the next couple of months we'll have a coach. And I think what Mal was maybe appointed in July last year. We'd hope in the next couple of months we've got our coach sorted, and then he can have discussions around Toby. The last thing I'm going to do is sign a player and tell the coach, you've got this guy now, deal with it. That's not fair on the coach. And a part of the appeal for any coach coming here is they get a clean slate.
Welcome back to Triple M NRL
Well,
Daily.
That's normally Adam's job, mate.
It is, mate. It is.
Can
But
I
he's
call
gone.
him?
He's
I miss
brushed
him.
us. He's brushed us. Yeah, call him.
I'm going to call him. I missed his call before.
Charlie, this
And he's
doesn't
about
always
to go on
well.
air.
This doesn't always go well when he
I
tries
don't
to call
care.
people.
Yeah, I know.
Don't care.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to be this disrespectful in PNG meetings as well, just calling people up. And,
No doubt.
You know.
That's what he's made his career on.
Hello?
SEN. Sorry, I'm not supposed to plug another radio station. You're-
It's weird. There was a weird country prefix that came up. Must be PNG.
That's all right. We'll have you over soon, mate. You can do a show live from Santos, okay? Now, listen, hey, don't say anything silly. You're actually on the podcast. We're back without you. I've come in for a farewell
Miss you,
tribute
Adam.
show, and we all miss you, brother. And Charlie's doing an admirable job,
Great job.
I don't miss you, Adam. Stay away.
but he's taking up
Is
the
that
salary
Alfred?
cap.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that Alfred?
I don't get it.
Alfred.
Alfred Hitchcock, Chammy. He directed and produced a lot of films, but in
Right.
every one of those films, he made sure he appeared in it. That's exactly what Charlie is known for his career.
Wow.
So
That's
I'm going
good.
to call him Alfred. from
I
here
thought Alfred from Batman because he's in the background and somehow yields power. Anyway, listen, champion, are you coming back or what's the go?
on.
You
Where
doing a
is there
are
to
you,
go to?
are you doing a farewell show? Like, is that this is over our relationship?
Contractually, I don't think he's allowed.
Oh, he's not allowed. Okay.
No, contractually, I think Hutchie would arrest me if I went into that. No, in all
Contracts. Who follows contracts these days?
Yeah, well, funny.
There's
you
a-
mention
there's a
that,
quote.
Michael. So, yeah, you've gone from trying to find what's in them to trying to make sure that people don't know what's in them. So, all
What?
the best of that.
After the grilling I just copped from Danny, you won't be getting any tips. I can tell you that, mate.
It's one of the great ironies that the one thing that Danny complained about most is the fact that PNG have come into the league. You've decided to mysteriously disappear and then all of a sudden pop up as the man who's going to build this franchise. So you hated him that much.
Hey,
that
listen.
You wanted to go and do that to him.
Listen, if one thing is for sure, Daddy can pull out some pom-poms when needed. So I'll get him as our cheerleader as well. He might have to ditch the blue and white, though. We'll get him some different coloured ones.
For a bloke who's allergic to humidity, I don't think you're going to see him up.
Correct, Adam.
Yeah,
Matty, you know me well.
True. No, we just thought we'd ring you, mate, and say hello and hope you're doing well over there. And
Loving the show, Adam.
yeah, loving it. I haven't listened to it yet, but I will listen to it soon because I think I'm on next week. So I'll listen to it.
Chammy's going to come on. I'm going to get Danny on at one stage, and Charlie, if it doesn't get you sacked as well, once you're the host of all the podcasts.
Brilliant, mate.
Come over too and have a chat as well about the buy round.
Yeah, brilliant.
Love you,
Sounds
mate.
good.
You look after yourself.
I miss you guys.
Claude.
It is fun, but we'll get back together another time.
See you, Adam.
See you, brother.
What a man, Adam Peacock. Great to join us. We're going to move away from the PNG serious side of things now, Chammy. We want to talk a bit about you, mate. You know, I want to ask you first of all, what's the favourite story you ever broke during your time as a
favourite.
reporter?
I think the favourite ones are the ones where you actually make a difference to someone. Like they message you and say thank you. I remember doing one with James Roberts years ago.
I love you,
Angus Crichton. That was special for me, like just to see the impact that it had on him, but also people around him. Payne Haas this year.
Yep.
Or last year. That was quite a tough chat. Latrell Mitchell, I did one with Latrell over the years. So those ones mean a lot. Probably the biggest story in terms of the biggest stories that I've broken, I think the Sam Burgess breakup with South Sydney and the special treatment around players and led to him. Like, you remember the circus the next day.
Yeah, it was actually really good to watch Chammy work that story because it was happening quickly and he was there getting leads on all of that. And that night, I remember him staying back and working. We're at the South's High Performance Centre, and he got some really good stuff late. And the in-depth read that he produced quickly and thoroughly was really good journalism. And I think, I thought it was award-winning stuff. If ever,
Thanks,
entered, I know you don't enter
I don't really
awards,
like to do that stuff. I
but
leave that.
you could have. It was really the speed with which you gathered that, and the accuracy, and the insight that you gave, and the anecdotes was fantastic. I was there that day, sort of watching a lot of it happen. So.
I remember you leaving at 6:50. I'm thinking, what am I here now solo? And I remember everyone left. I was there at 10 o'clock at night, and then finally spoke to some people as they were leaving the building. So that was cool. I think a favourite, covering Jared Haynes' trip in America, like when he went to the NFL. I was there for 6 weeks during that period.
6 weeks, was it? Wow.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. That's probably the best thing I've done in my career in terms of going into, I went to NFL head office, met with people in there in New York and travelled from city to city. I ended up stopping in New York for a bit and covering the US Open and doing some stuff with Kyrgios. I covered Olympics, Wimbledon's, but that Jared Hayne trip, because the whole country was behind him at the time, and he couldn't get enough of anything to do with that story. And for me, that was probably the best fun I've had in my career.
In your career, you reflect on it, things like that. Like, you're lucky to do that, aren't you?
Oh, mate.
As journos, we're lucky to be allowed. I mean, it's our job, but to have that fly on the wall, first-hand experience of a moment in time that will probably be talked about for a very long time. I mean, Haynes' career didn't go well after that, obviously, but potentially it could have. To be. I think you're going to miss that sort of thing, aren't you? That
mate, you pinch yourself. I got to watch LeBron and Steph Curry do their thing at the Olympics in Paris, and it was the most unbelievable semi-final against Serbia, and then the winner against France in their own backyard. That is a career highlight for me. I didn't appreciate it at the time, but I walked around St Andrews during the Open, the opportunity to do that, people would kill for, and you're walking around through there. I know you covered the Masters, Danny, so you would appreciate it. But yeah, it's mate, loved every single minute of it. Could have done it for the rest of my life, no issues. I never woke up once thinking, stuff this, I don't want to work today. I never looked at it as work.
Charlie, watching him develop as a journo I'm not taking a single ounce of any credit, but just watching him develop and become better and better. And his sources obviously were really good, and just watching how Chammy worked and how hard he worked at what he was doing was great to see. Inspirational.
Yeah.
To see.
Even just sitting, to both of you, even just sitting here now with Danny. I was a kid, remember watching the footy show, and this guy, his head would pop up. And I remember the mundane stories or the sunny. No, but in all
Maybe
seriousness,
for a while.
and I remember just you have no idea what future holds for you. But I remember thinking like, how cool is it? Like he knows all these people. He's speaking to Sonny Bill. He's speaking to Mundine, and I'm like, that is so cool. And the opportunity then to work with him, and mate, he always, I don't like, I don't do the mushy stuff, but he's always treated me as an equal.
Of course.
And I was worried when I first met him. Actually, when I was a kid, when I started in journalism, I thought he was like a snob, but I realized he just keeps to himself. Right? He's an introvert. But then when I got the chance to work at Nine, everyone said to me, "Oh, watch out for Danny. He's very protective of his patch. Oh, he's going to be difficult for you, mate." He welcomed me in. He treated me as an equal, and he taught me a lot about journalism. And
Thank you.
I owe you a lot for what I did, and I'm really honoured.
Who are
that I
those
got the
people
chance.
saying that about me? I'm going to.
No reveal source. But even to you, Charlie, thanks for everything that you backed me as a young kid at Triple M, and you gave me a chance. And
But he's great, isn't he?
He's
Charlie?
great. Well, mate, everything you've gotten, you've deserved, and like everything you've gotten, you've created. So
appreciate it.
you're an absolute superstar. I think rugby league media is at a huge loss losing you, like huge loss, and it's lucky for the NRL that they've been able to get you in as PNG GM because
Thanks, mate.
I think you'll kill it. Like I think this tax-free thing will be massive. I think you guys will win a premiership in the
He's got a
first few
huge
years.
advantage, doesn't he?
I think it's the biggest advantage
Huge
any NRL
advantage.
club has ever had.
He's got
Like-
he's got 2 times the salary cap of
You keep
everybody
saying
else.
that, and I've told you we don't have double the salary.
You got
cap.
double the salary
because you
cap.
can't sign someone for double the NRL for half the value because the NRL is not going to
That
register.
doesn't
No,
matter though.
but-
You're still giving them more. So you sign a
We
player
are
for
giving them,
$750. You're
but-
offering them $1.3 million.
Yeah.
Of course, but you also have to
It's
realise
double.
I won't get someone for $500,000 less because of this.
No, but I think like I've spoken to a lot of players. I think you'll sign a lot of.
I'm
very,
confident around the
very
football
good
team. I told you that. Yeah.
Yeah. Danny is an interesting character, though, Jam. He's a very interesting character.
Ooh, yeah.
We're learning things about him constantly. New things constantly. He was on Hello Sport on Sunday, and I want you to have a listen to this.
I've broken my legs 5 times. Well, 3 skiing. I'm a skier.
Oh, okay.
And I've broke 2 legs playing golf.
What do you fall down a bunker or something?
We're playing at the Coast Golf Course.
Yeah, I know the
Driving
coast.
along was on the 14th hole. Like it's a bit of a downhill. And I just said to my mate, "Hey, mate, your ball's back there." And he just turned hard. And he got thrown out one side. I got thrown in the other. And the cart went in the air. I remember seeing it. You know the part you step on to walk in?
Yep.
That landed across my legs.
Oh my god!
Like, see that? That was like bones out there.
How are you still walking?
I can't walk. Basically, my right ankle's my right ankle came off backwards, broke both sides.
So it was like a compound, was it?
both and I've also broke this part of my foot, so I had bones everywhere. And my poor mates were like they were almost I wish I didn't pass out quickly enough, and they were almost passing out. Seeing like I actually had bones coming out.
Oh, that is. So
See, I can't walk very well.
I had no idea you've broken your legs. What, 5 times?
This guy, he obviously doesn't listen to the podcast very often.
No.
He's shared that story before on here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sorry for missing the episode.
Yeah.
Sorry for having
Horrific,
a lie.
eh?
Yeah, like, well, 3 were skiing sort of thing. Like, that just happens, right? But yeah, the bad one was breaking both my legs playing golf. And what it was just a mate of mine, a schoolmate, was driving a golf cart. I was about 17, 18 years old. And I said, mate, we're driving along down a little hill at the coast. Ball was off to the left. I said, mate, you drove past your ball. He turned the cart hard. It flipped in the air. The part where you walk into the cart landed across my legs and smashed them both. My ankle came off backwards, broke both sides. My left leg had bones coming out of it. It was pretty bad. So I still can't really walk very well as a result.
Yeah.
You know,
Are you crying?
I'm a slow walker. Was I? I don't think I passed out. I wish I passed out. My mates were like, they had to rush off to a hospital. 2 of my buddies, and one stayed with me. It was bad. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I'd never noticed the walking thing. I'm
Yeah,
probably going
yeah.
to look at you now and judge your
Yeah.
walk.
Oh,
and-
he's
and-
slow, bro. You try to
slow.
walk with this guy. It's like, hurry up.
Slow.
Yeah, you play golf still or no?
I did. I'm not happy about golf carts.
Yeah.
I don't. I still ski.
Yeah.
So, which is, I love that.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be your last podcast here with us, Jammy.
I'm very sad.
I mean, the favourite thing for me is probably the hood and the
The what?
the hood.
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 Yeah, that's better. Thank
Hood.
you. Yeah.
Got to roll your tongue a little bit.
I'll tell you where there's a party at the moment.
Yeah.
Tigers fans, they're so happy to see the back of me.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss them, bro.
Yeah, they are happy. So are News Corp.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
They've privately said a few things to me.
Yeah, there you go.
They're happy that you're not around.
Well, Buzz is gone as well. So.
He might have reconsidered his retirement, maybe.
He actually, I rang him to congratulate him at the end of his career, and he answered the phone by saying, "Oh, you forced me into retirement." The next day, it all came out. I felt like saying, "Well, Buzz, stick on if you want."
Actually, I haven't even paid any tribute to Buzz. Like,
You want to do that?
Let's do it now.
Well, look, we're not close. I wasn't invited to Did he have a big farewell?
He had a farewell,
You-
mate.
You're invited to that.
I was invited, but I was in PNG. I didn't
Right,
make it
yeah.
back.
We were competitive for main competitors for years, and we had a lot of spats. But his career deserves praise, and his contacts are amazing. He's got an amazing contacts who he's had for a very long period of time, and respect to him for all of that. We're different people. We'll probably never see eye to eye on a lot of things, but yeah, congratulations, Buzz.
Yeah, he's a legend, Buzz. I love working with him. I feel really fortunate the last few years being able to work with him and get to know him and champion.
Well, you're News
fella.
Corp Charlie too.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
no,
true.
he's a champion fella, and I hope he does come back to rugby league media at some point and pop up as a talking head, from time to time. Maybe he will.
Oh, hang on, are you hinting at
I'm
something?
not
there?
hinting at anything. I'm just
You're
saying.
a very
I hope,
powerful man in the
hope-
media,
I
Charlie.
hope one day he maybe
You are a very
returns.
powerful man in the media.
I do think it's because we've had this power vacuum of NRL journos sort of disappear. We have Chammies gone and Buzz, obviously, two proper big dogs, and a couple of years ago, Kenty and Hoops and all that. It's going to be interesting. Like, you're obviously one of the biggest journos in the game and you're still there, but there's a lot of guys that have left. And
Yeah.
I wonder who's going to be the young person that comes up and gets the mantle.
Opportunity.
I reckon
Yeah.
Carrianis.
Carry on, your man, you think?
Yeah, Carrianis is the guy. I think
Well, he's an excellent journo.
he's a great journo.
Well, he might be on this podcast one day. Who knows?
Really?
Hopefully, mate. Hopefully.
Are you
well,
replacing me with Carrianis?
Oh,
Jeez,
well,
you're
that would be
throwing
amazing.
Wow, is that a
lot of-
scoop?
That's not a
throwing a
scoop.
lot of
That's not a
Wow.
scoop.
You
That
know,
has-
the people on Twitter have been asking who's going to be
Well, that's
in.
what I was going to read to you,
Okay,
Danny.
yeah.
Here, listen to this. Hey, at Danny Weidler, can you find a new podcast partner now that at Michael Chammas has left us for his dream gig? The NRL podcast world is toast, with the same people regurgitating the same
Wow.
news on different days.
He's having a crack.
At
yeah.
least your one with at Adam Peacock hosting had a different spin.
It's nice of Adam to send that in.
Who do you think Carrianis is the man to replace Chammy?
It'd be brilliant.
Let's ring him.
He's on
Yeah,
He's on a
yeah.
million shows too, isn't he?
I don't know if I'd put him in that situation, but he'd be good. And the other thing he has is a disdain for Danny, like
you.
like me. So he'd give it to him.
Well, boys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Danny,
Thanks,
you'll be
Charlie.
with us every week.
Hopefully, yeah.
Every week.
Yeah.
For
I
the
love
footy
that no one
season.
wants to do the podcast with Danny. You've been searching the earth,
Oh.
worldwide
we
search
want
for
someone quality
Oh, yeah. This is like
High
a worldwide
quality.
search for a coach that ends up being,
and a host.
well, he ended up getting it himself.
Are you going to appoint yourself as coach for the?
Oh, mate, I might have to.
Yeah.
I'd have to. It doesn't mean I get tax-free on both
Yeah.
fronts.
Like,
Yeah.
Who'd want to work with Chammy?
Yeah, Jammy. Well, mate,
Congratulations,
No, thanks,
Jammy.
boys. Appreciate it.
Been a pleasure working with
Feel
you.
like a gift coming in or something? Nothing?
nothing.
No, nothing? Okay.
You got the
Something?
cash-free dollars.
yeah, exactly. You should be getting us a gift.
Tax-free
I
dollars.
should.
Where's
Yeah.
the gift for us?
Yeah.
I'll take this polo when we finish and you can have it.
Those brown paper bags he's walking
Yeah,
around with.
exactly. Yeah.
Uncle Chammy.
All the best, Jammy.
Thanks, guys.